So as promised, here's part 2 of our 6x6 one sheet wonder. So we cut up all the bits and pieces. I'll leave a link to the first video, the first part of this series, in the description bar, but this is part 2. So what I've done is I've stuck all of those pieces that we cut and I've put them onto the lovely lipstick, and we are ready to go. Oh, I didn't do that one. Let's just quickly do that before we move on. What I've done is I've taken some A4 Whisper White cardstock, and I'll show you what I've done with those, but I've turned those into card bases. Now if you are in the US watching this, as you know, your A4, well, you might not know, your A4 is a slightly different size to here in the UK, so you would need to make sure that you're chopping that up accordingly. But I've taken a piece of A4 cardstock, and on the long side I've cut that in half at 5 7/8, and so this is 5 7/8, and then on this long side I've scored right down the middle at 4 1/8, and then that is our card base. So you need 6 of those. You also need some scrap of lovely lipstick and some scrap of Whisper White to then start putting the cards together. So in no particular order in these, I'm just going to put these out of the way, and we'll start with the easy one, which is the 3" by 3" square. So let's get a card base. Now what I would like to do with this one, so that's going to go just kind of at the top there, and then I'm just using some simple circles, simple card making here. If you've never made cards before, you can do these. These are ideal for children. For those of you that are either self-isolating or now your children aren't at school, you could get some cards, some DSP. All the links to all the products that I'm using are in my blog, and the link to that is in the description bar. So this is super easy if you've got kids at home, and I would say kids from maybe 10 years old upwards will easily be able to do this. Younger children with some supervision. The punches that we use are quite heavy, and the paper trimmer has an extremely sharp blade on it, so just to be aware of that. So there's my card base, there's my square, so I'm going to put that on there, and before I put it all together I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I've got some lovely lipstick scrap there, and I've got here the 2 1/4 circle inch punch. Circle inch, 2 1/4 inch circle punch. So we need one of those. And I've been using on the other cards that I made, that I've put down somewhere and now can't find them, I used the, what have I done with them? I've put them somewhere. Oh, here they are. So on this one, I've used this from the Beautiful Friendship stamp. I love our Beautiful Friendship, but I want to use something different. So I'm going to take that off my block, and let's just see what else we're going to use. So I want people to know that I'm thinking of them. So I've gone for the Beautiful Moments stamp set, and I want this, just to tell people that I'm thinking of them. We are, in these times feeling extremely isolated. So let's remind people that we're thinking of them. So let's get that on a block like that. And I'll do this in lovely lipstick. So I've got some scrap of, I don't know if that's big enough. So I've got some scrap of Whisper White there. That's probably the last bit I'm going to use. And my lovely lipstick ink. And just stamp that on there and get the 2" circle punch. And cut that out like that. If you don't have punches, then draw around something that's round. And we're going to put that on there like that, and then I'm going to mount that using some mini dimensionals. So with this, I'm starting to run out of glue. I might have to pause the video and run downstairs to get another pot of glue. So I've put that, it's not in the centre of the card, it's just slightly higher than, well no, it is higher than centre, so it's in the top half of the card. I'm going to put this white circle onto the lovely lipstick circle. This lovely lipstick is a beautiful colour. It's really a very, very, very dark pink, almost hinting on red. If you looked at it quickly, you would think that it's red, but it is a very deep, deep pink. And I'm going to put that on there like that, so it overlaps slightly. So I've got my mini dimensionals. Just going to put 4 of those on there. Can't pick them up. Oh goodness, right. It's trying to stick to my finger more than it was the card. Right, this one's not playing ball. Get off. Okay. And then we'll put that on there like that. So super, super simple. And, you know, I'm just going to send that to someone just to let them know that I'm thinking of them. This, you know, where we are at the moment, you know, people are affected in different ways. We've got people that are working for our National Health Service and, you know, they're under extreme pressure. We've got people who are going to have kids at home for the foreseeable future. We've got kids that can't take their GCSEs and A-levels. They're not going to have a prom. They're not going to have a leavers assembly or a leavers do. And everybody's really feeling it at the moment. We've got people that can't buy any food because either they can't go out or everybody else has bought it. You know, it's really, really tough at the moment, really tough. So I just want people to know that I'm thinking of them. Here are my 1-inch squares on 1 1/8 inch card. And I'm going to put these, I'm not quite sure. I think I'm just going to keep it pretty much the same as what I did with the other one, to be honest. So I'm going to put that like that. And then I'm going to put a circle here. On the other card that I made, I did a square, but I was using a different stamp set. So I'm going to go back to my circle. I'm going to see if I can get another 2-inch out of that. I can. I'm going to punch that. And a piece of lovely lipstick in a 2 1/4. And I'm going to put that, I like the mix of shapes, really like the mix of shapes on that one. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that again. I'm going to use the same stamp set with this. So ink that up, line it up and stamp it. Right, while that's drying, I'm not going to put my fingers on that. I'm going to put those 2 out of the way. I'm going to lay this flat like that so it's not wobbling about all over the place. And that's where I'm going to start with that one kind of centre right. Don't measure, I eyeball it. If people want to criticise because I've got something that's a millimetre off centre, then that's their problem. I think we are almost out of glue. And I'm going to put that one there like that. And then get the 3rd one. And then we'll put that in line with that last one we put on. That's it. So then with this circle, same as we did before, just mount this with some wet glue. because I've got those circles looking a little bit better than that, but that's where they are now. I think that needs to be a little bit lower. Okay, so we've got that one. If you're a more experienced card maker, you might want to just layer this up a little bit more. So it could be that you could use lovely lipstick card in order to make your card base and then put a white background on it, or use a white card base with a lovely lipstick background and then another layer of Whisper White. Obviously that then eats into your supplies, and you know, I'm a bit worried that at the moment, at some point, businesses are going to close down and there aren't going to, or they're, you know, people are going to fall ill and they won't be able to deliver anything. So I'm being really frugal with my supplies at the moment. And when we start to get back up and running again, then just go and use everything. So what have I got next? Let's do these four. So these are the 1 inch by 1.5 inch rectangles with the lovely lipstick that measures 1 1/8 by 1 5/8. Got my card base, and I'm going to put these on here like that. You know, and what I've been able to do, you can make 5 cards each out of these. So I've made 10 cards, you know, kind of in a couple of hours really. I probably could have done them quicker than that, but I faffed about, had phone calls and emails. So that's kind of held me up. If I'd switched my phone off and just got on with it, I probably could have done them in an hour. So I'm just putting those. I think these are going to be spaced out a bit too much, but that's it. I've made that decision now. And I might have to make a great big square that's going to sit in the middle, which is not what I plan to do. And that's why you should not talk while you're crafting. But we'll see what happens. I'll cut out my circle in a minute and then see what that's looking like. And I'm really running low on glue now. Hoping I've got a couple more bottles downstairs. So let's get some card and cut out my 2 1/4 inch circle. Oh, just fits. Thank goodness, just fits. Okay. What I wanted to do, where's my scrap of Whisper White? I just wanted them to go over those corners. That's what I was hoping for, just to break it up. There's a 2 inch circle, same thing, gonna sit on there. Now with this one, I'm actually going to have that glued on, if I can get some glue out of this. I like to get every last drop of glue out of these pots. So while that's wet, just wiggle it. Just make sure you get it, yep, exactly where we want it. And then while that's drying, let's stamp this. Then carefully, without smudging that ink, it does dry very quickly, but I've only just stamped that. Let's just get some mini dimensionals on this that are sticking to me more than they're sticking to the cards, and that's because of the way I've picked it up. That's another one. Job done. 3 more to go. If you wonder what that strange noise was, that was my Bluetooth speaker switching itself off. So we've got these two. Now, I can do a mixture of these. Let me just punch out a 2 1/4 inch circle. So we could have this. I can't remember what I did with the other one. We could have that, and that. Oh, well, actually, I quite like that. That's what we're doing. Not even looking at alternatives. That's what we're doing. We really are down to the last drops of that. Put that towards the top. And then I'm going to put that there. Just going to try and guess where this is going. Yep. I'm going to put that there as a guide. There, just line that up. And let's get some more Whisper White. We're going to do the same thing, just going to use the same stamp because this is what I'm doing with cards. I'm sending them to people to tell them that I'm thinking of them, because we don't know how people are affected by this. We've got people that are, you know, it's making them anxious, it's making them feel lonely, isolated. So all these cards are doing is telling people that I'm thinking of them. And hopefully that it's making them feel a little bit better because they've received a handmade card. Drop that on there like that. So we've got that one. So with this, let's get another card base. Now with these ones, I think what I'd like to do is put that there and then put my circle next to it. So I always stamp out a circle just to give me some ideas how I want to line those up. So that's what I'm going to do with that. Get a good production line of these going. And after this, one more card to go. And then we've got 10 cards. So I'm going to put that there, like that. With this one, I'm going to stick this on here. Now you could, if you wanted to, if you were making a batch of birthday cards, do these. You could get, you know, if you're making 6 of these at a time. If you made 2 lots, you've got 12 cards. That's 12 birthdays. Just, I mean, obviously these are mainly, well, I know that men like flowers, but these are mainly floral, so they're more suited towards women. But you do have, what you'll have in the drawer is 12, a pack of 12 birthday cards for the women in your life. Unless you've got men in your life that like flowers or like floral things. How many times has it been somebody's birthday and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I didn't get them a card. What am I going to do? Well, this is a great way of getting a batch of them done. Very, very last thing. So what am I going to do with this? Let's get my card base again. Right, what am I going to do? I don't know. Let's do that. I haven't had one that way yet. I don't know if this will look right, actually. I can kind of visualise it in my head, and I'm not liking it. Just looks like a gigantic exclamation mark, doesn't it? But I don't want to do that because I've already done that. And I don't want to do that because I've already done that. What do we do? Do we do that? Do we put that right in the middle and put that there? Oh, I don't know. Do we do that? No. I think it's got to be connected. That's just awful. I'm going to do that. Oh, I don't know. That is what it is now, because I kind of feel that I've seen too many of these circles. As you probably have now as well. Right, one last stamp. Get this glued on there. Let's get this done. Because I'm going to make myself a brew while these YouTube videos are uploading. Got a lovely quiet house at the moment. My husband's gone out to visit some family. My two daughters are not in the house at the moment. One is sorting out her own new house that she's just bought, so she's sorting all of that out. The other one's with her boyfriend. My son, I don't know what he's doing. He's gone off somewhere. So it's just me in the house. It's quite nice. Days like today, I quite like this social distancing thing. I'm sure by the time I get to Wednesday, I'm going to be bored of it. But I've got my craft supplies, so that's all right. So there we go. So there we have it. Let me show you these all together. So the different ways, that is 12 cards made with a one sheet wonder. So this is some of them. So these are the ones that I've just made, and these are the ones that I made earlier, the different DSP. They are just so pretty. So, so pretty. And you've just got, if you made them with birthday cards with a birthday stamp, then you've just made yourself 12 birthday cards out of two sheets of DSP 6x6, and also that's taken it's just taken some cardstock as well, so some white and some lovely lipstick cardstock. But ideal if you've got scrap hanging about, and you find yourself that you're social distancing at the moment, get your scrap out and get it used. I hope you've enjoyed these two videos, and it gives you some inspiration to keep crafting. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane everybody, and I'll be back again with another tutorial soon. Bye bye.